Draymond Green and Russell Westbrook beefing, Jason.
There we go.
They are asking me just before the camera went rolling is, what are we doing? What are we doing here? Well, what we are doing is we're talking NBA, which we love to do. I am captivated by this postseason at the moment, despite the fact that we did mention there hasn't been any really close games to the point where we're on the edge of our seat with the final seconds going down.
It's historically going to be the biggest point differential in NBA playoffs history.
Right.
So it's like the actual complete opposite. It's been pretty much double-digit wins on both sides, almost every game.
But it doesn't take away from the rivalry that we see in both sets. I mean, we see the Cleveland Cavs walk away with that, maybe shaking the hand, something that many people weren't as happy with. But none other than Draymond Green, who has been the face of most controversy around the postseason matchup between the Warriors and OKC. We had the nut kick on Steven Adams, and we now have the beef between himself and Russell Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook, after the victory in Oklahoma City, where they took a 2-1 series lead, had this to say about Draymond Green in his press conference following the game.
Intentional. I think that's 2 times in the last 2 games. You know, I don't think you can't keep kicking somebody in their private areas. But you know, he probably said he didn't do it on purpose. But I think the way I look at it, looks intentional to me.
Right, so I don't think that was anything too ridiculous from Russell Westbrook, but Draymond Green, being a little bit stir of controversy, he kind of had this to say about Russ Westbrook. You know, Russell Westbrook said, "I did it on purpose," but he's part of the superstar group that started all this acting in the NBA. Oh! Shots fired?
Shots fired.
Okay, well, let's look at this. Let's overanalyze this too much.
Yeah, let's blow this way out of proportion.
For one, Draymond Green's not necessarily wrong. Russell Westbrook, for a while when he started in his NBA career, was damn good at acting, damn good at flopping. And it's not just him. Manu Ginobili was one of the original kings of the flop.
LeBron James.
Wade, LeBron James, Matthew Dellavedova, everybody and their mother and their father and their grandparents at some point has done a great job at acting the flop. Andre Iguodala just recently. LeBron James recently.
Against his own teammate.
Great at it. And guess what? Durant and Westbrook flop too. And so does Steven Adams. And so does all of the Thunder. And so do all of the Warriors. Look at any playoff team close enough. They all flopping, all right? Got to accept it. So Draymond Green taking shots at Russell Westbrook. But Francis, we have more because we have tweets. I love the beef. Draymond, quote, "I'm not bracing for the worst. Russell Westbrook kicked me at the end of the half. He just didn't catch me where I caught Adams." Oh, it continues for more. Draymond on the kick. Russell said I did it intentionally, but we already mentioned that. Next one. Sorry. Westbrook on Green's comments. "I don't know how to flop." Yeah, you do. Next. Russell Westbrook on Draymond bringing him into this. Quote, "I think this is great. It's normal. It's normal. You want someone to take the heat off yourself." More shots fired. Francis.
It's
Who's right? Who's wrong? Somebody has to be right here. Somebody has to be wrong.
Firstly, and I mean uno, one.
Ooh.
Un, two. First of all, it's funny because the one reason why anyone rags on my sport, you guys all flop in soccer. Floppers!
You guys are the kings.
There is no doubt.
You are the
Alvin
kings
Robin
and queens.
Is the fall on the floor champion.
The knights and princes of all
there
things
is no
flop.
doubt. But do you know what's funnier than seeing a soccer player flop?
Is an NBA
a 6'7" plus 6'9" guy flopping.
7-footer.
But when you take one in the meat and 2 veg, you have every right to hit the deck. There's no doubt.
Well,
right? But
yeah, dude, he's on the ground. It hurts like a mother.
Take the LeBron James incident. Put that in Arjen Robins game. Put him in a Holland jersey and have him knocked back. That's viral for. It still went viral. It's still funny, but that is what soccer's all about, man. They falling on the floor.
Yeah, no, look, I agree with you 100%, man. Like the NBA flops not as much, but they do it. It's funnier in the NBA only because,
it's like
as you mentioned, because they're huge.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, just for example, in the Copa del Rey, real quick, Lionel Messi. Oh man, he's rolling and rolling.
He's still rolling, some may say.
And he's still going.
He rolled all the way to the U.S. He came here.
He rolled all the way here. But yeah, so this whole idea that like, I don't know how to flop and these guys do this and intentional. Here's what the NBA decided. The NBA decided that there wasn't intent. They couldn't prove each other. He couldn't prove intent. So they just upgraded it to a flagrant 2. Accept it and move on. Again, I mentioned in the Raptors clip, Draymond Green and Bismack Biyombo have the same amount of technical fouls. Not one person has said one bad thing about Bismack Biyombo because he stuffed Kevin Love in that game, which was awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Forgot to mention that in the Raptors clip. But.
Here's an outside point, right? Which is, I don't know. I want to get your views on it. Do you think it may be because it, on paper, is not a contact sport, right? And if you happen to be fouled, it's such a cloudy area. Like, we see such judgment calls by the referees. That's why the NBA referees, I think, are basically under the spotlight more than any other refs, because they have to make judgment calls on what they see as contact and what they see as just movement.
There's also reports the next day which say what calls they got wrong.
Yeah, exactly. And so we've talked about this with LeBron James. Does LeBron James get favored calls because he's so big and you have to judge whether or not he's ramming into someone or someone's checking him? So when it comes to flopping, it's all about selling it, right? It's all about selling, I got contact, so you need to give me it. Like, how many times do we see Durant run to the rim and he's screaming and one before he's even being touched? He's just thrown up, and one! And it's like, okay, I understand it because it's all about part of the game. I don't like diving in world football. I don't like flopping unnecessarily, but I think that it's more prominent and more kind of over the top, as you see in these basketball terms, because it's a judgment call. It's cloudy. There's no written rule. Like, he gets hit on his shoulder, that means it's a foul, whereas if he gets hit on his chest, it's not. So it's all about when someone is taking that contact and trying to get an advantage, you need to showcase to the referee, hey, I'm a massive guy, but I still got fouled. So
right, I agree with you 100%. It's a matter of if you can sell the call. And look, just so everyone knows, as much as it might be frustrating as a fan watching the game, if a player sells a call and it actually gets a ball, like the possession back in your hands, that's the best thing the player could have done.
Yep.
They fine you for flopping. Some of these guys will take the fine if they have a better shot at getting a ring. So this whole idea of like, we got to get rid of flopping in the NBA, it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to still exist, just like it exists in many sports. But Green and Westbrook are beefing, and it's going to create a great Game 4 for tonight and a great Game 5. And there has to be a Game 6 because there's more basketball. No, wait, there doesn't have to be a Game 6. What am I talking about? The Thunder could win tonight.
Thunder could win.
And they could technically win it in 5. So I don't want to say anything that could not possibly come true. Regardless, we want the Warriors to win tonight because we want more basketball. Okay? More. More is
always
better.
want more.
We want Game 6s and Game 7s.
975,000 games in a season isn't enough for Jason.
No, 908,000 is not enough, Francis. I want 909,000. Comment below. Like, favorite, subscribe to the video. It goes a long way. Social media in the description box. You all know where that stuff is. We'll see you.